Shalom, shalom. Call HALALYAM, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles who gave us from the teaching of the law. Peace and salutations be to those who elect. Brother Husband of the Bar coming at you from the province of Babylon, camping in Temple, Florida. Nothing's going to be going like across the world. Okay? These motherfuckers moving mountains to get justice for anybody. Alright? And all justice is thrown out of the window when we telling these motherfuckers that they finna go into slavery for what their forefathers did to our forefathers, man. Yeah. It sounds so far-fetched, but they ready to go across the world for fucking one simple Edomite. Just to persecute somebody that persecuted that Edomite over here in America. Now here's the story. It says 2 suspects linked to an international sextortion ring that allegedly drove a Michigan high schooler to take his own life have been extradited from Nigeria to the United States. Samuel Ogoshi and Samson Ogoshi, along with a third co-defendant, are accused of blackmailing young men and teenage boys by convincing them to send explicit photos online and then threatening to expose the images unless they paid money or engaged in sexual acts. Alright, so pretty much she's African booty scratches, you know, or he may be even Jake, man, you know, but they got his ass. They got his ass, they played his ass, man. Okay, he was sending money over there and shit, you know. I don't know if he sent money or, you know, if he was about to send money or what, but dude ended up taking his life because of the stress. And Edomites can't handle too much stress, man. Something that worries them too much. Their image is about to be changed or whatever. Remember, these are carnal men, base men. Okay, so one simple thing that overstretches them can ruin their whole entire life, drive them into committing suicide because they are mentally unstable to handle it. Alright? But it says, the case gained widespread attention after one of their victims, Jordan DeMay, tragically ended his life after being targeted by the suspects. Give me 1 second, Salakia. It's a walk and talk, by the way. So it reads, the case gained widespread attention after one of their victims, Jordan DeMay, tragically ended his life after being targeted by the suspects. So this Edomite got overwhelmed. That's what happens with these Edomites. They get overwhelmed and they just say, fuck it, I'm ending it all. And they want to try again in the next life. Hopefully they have a next one, they think, you know. It says, this devastating incident serves as a reminder of the dangers that lurk online and the urgent need for increased vigilance in protecting oneself and others from such heinous crimes. The authorities have charged the suspects with conspiracy to sexually exploit minors, distribute child pornography, and commit stalking through the internet. Alright? Now these dudes ain't even exploit old boy from what it sounds like. They didn't even exploit him. They just threatened to for money. You know? And somehow they getting charged with all the fucking crimes in the book, man. Okay? You didn't even know you can get charged for shit like this. Alright? You over here in America, you ask them, what happens if I say this or that? Well, it doesn't really matter unless the crime is committed. You know? That's how these Edomites will go for you. But say, peradventure, this happened to a Jake instead of an Edomite. You know, do you think they would have crossed the world? These motherfuckers would have crossed the world to go and persecute these Nigerian boys? Hell nah, man. These dudes getting charged with prison time. Even one of them is a minor. He's still getting charged with prison time. it says, the rise in sextortion crimes during the COVID-19 pandemic has been alarming as perpetrators exploit the vulnerabilities and insecurities of their victims who may be seeking connection and validation in an increasingly digital world. Here was 3 Nigerian men that conspired from across the planet and came into my house. Here was 3 Nigerian men that conspired across the planet and came into my house in the middle of the night while I was sleeping and murdered my son. It says they came into my house while I was sleeping and murdered my son. Jordan's father, John, said back in May. So you got these motherfucking Edomites complaining and whining, and their fucking judicial courts and whatever, the system goes haywire over one Edomite. The world stops for one Edomite committing suicide. And because it was somebody not from their own race, well, they finna persecute this nigga to the highest extent of the law, man. Okay? Let me grab it. In the book of Jeremiah, it's like it. Bear with me. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, and verse 16 says, "Thy terribleness." In fact, let me start. Let me start at verse 13. It says, "For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee. The pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill." Okay, Esau got the height of the hill right now, right? They dwell in the clefts of the rocks, the caves, because that's where they spring up from, is the caves, man. Okay, but they at the height of the hill. Not only are they in the hill city, which is our homeland, but they're in the rulership seat of the world. Okay. "Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI." Because Esau see themselves as royalty, man. Any nation that messes with an Edomite, anybody from a different nation that messes with an Edomite, be prepared to face all hell, man. Okay? Now, when an Edomite commits a crime against a Jake, it's no big deal. Okay? It's no big deal. But when Jake is committing a crime against the Edomite, Jake gonna get 25 to life off rip. Whether you be underage, a minor. Well, Esau ready to persecute you as soon as you come out the room. While you in the womb, you getting persecuted by Esau, man. Just by the food your mom has to eat, Esau persecuting your ass before you even step foot in the earth. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished. And shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Okay? Lord's about to bring Esau so low, because look how high they made themselves. Where you across the world and you say something about an Edomite, this Edomite take himself out, Esau sends a whole fucking army over there to take you down, man. Nigga sent troops over there to bring these men all the way from Nigeria back to America to put them in a jail cell, man. What kind of shit is that? You don't hear about things like that often, okay? Esau got the internet allowed to where people from other countries can't communicate to each other, man. Now they extraditing men from other country who committed offenses against America all the way to over here to be in prison. And they ain't even really commit offenses. Those aren't real offenses. Just because this Edomite was deceiving, so getting money. Alright? And then ended up taking his own life because he wasn't smart enough or wise enough to outmaneuver what was being said. Okay? He took his own life. And now it's a crime because he took his own life. Okay, but what about the constant Jake that's constantly getting harassed by these Edomites? What about Jake that's your everyday average Jake that's constantly getting persecuted by the damn modern day Roman soldiers? There's no justice for them. But you ready to take Jake to court over something that he did 70 years ago? Something that his dad or grandpa did or some shit, man. The debt's still passed down. But Esau don't want to talk about the debts that he must pay. He don't want to talk about that shit. Reparations. They said Obama was your reparations. They said they're going to put Harriet Tubman on the dollar bill, on the $20 bill, in 2030. But by 2030, money going to be done, cash going to be done away with. You see how this devil works, man? That's why the Lord's going to make him a desolation. He don't care about nothing but himself and only holds to high regard himself. Okay? And the only reason they went across the world for this Edomite, because this Edomite was about to be a future success. He was going to be successful in his future. Successful Edomite. Because he was in high school playing football. This nigga was probably born with a scholarship. Born with all his college paid for. And what Jordan's dad, his name's Jordan, his dad wanted justice, man. So he wanted justice. These Edomites went across the world and got justice for him. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by her shall hiss. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. So, just as everybody's astonished at the power of Babylon, they're going to also be astonished at the destruction of Babylon. Crossing worlds for just a single Edomite. It says, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. So, there you go, man. Grab this. Goes like this. Book Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So this nigga weakened the nations, man. He did not only weaken the nations of Israel, but all the nations of the world. okay, going in there into their countries and plunging their countries of resources. All right, this devil's a cancer. Wherever he goes, he devours. That's why he's gonna be wiped off the face of the earth. That's why he's gonna fall, man. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. You know. But I truly hope this lesson's edifying to you. Akim and YAHAWAH, who listen to truth and sincerity. This next year, mashallah, give all glory, honor, praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.